Good afternoon. I'm 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. It's quiet across much of Metro Detroit, but there are a couple thunderstorms out to the west. I'll track them for you in minutes.
All right, Kim, also a teenager in critical condition. We're going to talk about what happened at this intersection, and one witness says what he saw brought him to tears. We're also tracking a border battle that has grabbed the national spotlight, where things stand at this hour. Paula.
This bouncy dinosaur is a relic. I guess you could call it a dinosaur. But coming up, I'm going to show you why it's getting out of here and why it's going to bring this park into the present instead of the distant past.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, such a tough afternoon for the family of a teenager hit by a car at this busy intersection over in Dearborn Heights. Sky 4 was over the scene just after it happened on Telegraph near Ford Road this afternoon. Dearborn's police chief says 2 teens were trying to cross the road when one decided to turn around. The other one kept going and was hit so hard he was knocked out of his shoes. A witness tells Local 4 the worst part was seeing the reaction from the boy's mother.
His mom, as soon as she showed up, the pain in her voice, she was just screaming, and I shed a couple tears I couldn't hold back because all I could imagine was, what if that was my mom?
The driver of the car stopped and is cooperating with police. Right now, they're investigating the accident. That man you just heard tried to help the victim, and you're going to hear more from him when you join us tonight at 5. Stellantis has just revealed some new plans to build another EV battery factory. The announcement comes at a critical time for the industry. The new factory is going to be built in Kokomo, Indiana. It is the 3rd Stellantis battery plant in the works, with one in Windsor and a second already promised to Kokomo. The new plant is a joint operation with Samsung. That partnership brings up another wave of salary questions, just as the UAW launches contract talks with America's big 3 auto companies. Business editor Rob Maloney is going to take a closer look into that part of the story on Local 4 News at 5. Well, her father ran Oakland County for 27 years. Now, Mary Margaret Patterson will officially launch her bid to become the next county executive. Patterson's father, the late L. Brooks Patterson, held that office from 1992 until his death in 2019. His daughter is 46 years old, a small business owner and former school teacher. Her campaign says data shows a Republican can win in Oakland County once again. Her official announcement is set for Wednesday night. Okay, let's check in on your first forecast. Some of you might see a little bit of rain in the next few hours. Kim Adams is watching the Exact Track 40 radar for us. What do you see?
Well, I see a few showers and storms out to our west. Not severe, but some good downpours. Most of Metro Detroit right now is dry, but we're watching just a couple. Again, they're just areas of light to moderate rain out to our west in parts of northern Livingston County. Not quite into our area yet. But if you do have outdoor plans tonight, just be aware that they could pop up here and there. Another chance for a couple of storms tomorrow. Isolated, though, with temperatures getting into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. You will definitely notice the heat tomorrow and the humidity and touching off those thunderstorms. But the best chance for strong storms comes on Wednesday as our high gets to 89. And then we spend a couple days in the 90s, both Thursday and Friday, before we fall off quickly into the 70s next week. So we'll talk about the roller coaster ride of temps and also that chance for severe weather on Wednesday coming up.
All right, see you in court. And we're not talking to you, Kim. That's the message from Texas Governor Greg Abbott to President Biden in their newest battle at the border. This one focuses on some floating barriers in the Rio Grande River designed to keep undocumented migrants out of Texas. Kimberly Gill, working this story for us, joins us with the latest as a key deadline is about to pass.
You're right. Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. Many of us have seen video of these buoys for days. The Biden administration told the state of Texas they had to be removed by today, but Texas isn't budging. The Department of Justice sent a letter last week saying, in part, the barriers violate federal law, raise humanitarian concerns, and present risks to the environment and public safety. Supporters, though, say the barriers prevent people from swimming across the river to enter the state of Texas. The buoys also spin if someone tries to climb over them and extend at least a foot underwater. They are part of Abbott's multi-billion-dollar border security plan, and they become a flashpoint in Texas and across the country.
I support the buoys because they are a deterrent in preventing people from entering the country illegally. But we have to be compassionate in how we handle anyone. I don't care who they are. I don't care regardless of their legal status. I would much rather see not one person have to step 1 foot in that water because it is dangerous. You're going to drown. You're going to get injured.
Barbaric behavior, and Texans are shocked. They're outraged. It's not just these buoys or barrels. They've got this netting them, this wire netting underneath them, which can trap people.
So right now, the Biden administration says illegal border crossings have declined significantly since May, when pandemic-era immigration restrictions expired. New numbers, though, show total encounters on that border in June were the lowest they've been in 2 years.
Yeah, we've seen those numbers drop, but the question is now, what happens next?
Well, as you said, court. So
Right.
The Biden administration is likely to take Texas to court. It argues federal law prohibits any obstruction to navigate waters without authorization from the Army Corps of Engineers. So now the standoff continues. We'll have more later on the news at 5.
Okay, see you then.
Sure.
Thanks,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Well, North Korea is raising tensions this afternoon with the United States and its allies, even as there is some communication about how an American soldier who crossed the border. South Korea says the North has fired another ballistic missile into its eastern sea. The missile is seen as a protest of the U.S. sending major naval assets to the region. Meantime, the United Nations command says it's made contact with North Korea about Private Travis King. Leaders didn't give any details about when the talks started, how many conversations have taken place, and it's really not clear what they've learned about King's condition. You'll remember he voluntarily ran across the border last week. So far, the command says it has no idea where the talks might be headed. Once the protests did not stop Israel's prime minister from pushing judicial reform, some call a threat to democracy. Demonstrators were outside parliament today as well. Inside, Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition passed the first bill to weaken the country's courts. Supporters say unelected judges have become too powerful. But the changes come as Netanyahu is facing his own corruption trial. Some members of Israel's armed forces say they won't show up for duty because of the legislation. President Biden has called the move unfortunate. Closer to home, some big changes coming to 2 local parks that might not sound like a big deal, but wait. Hazel Park and Royal Oak Township have received hundreds of thousands of dollars to renovate the parks into adaptive and inclusive spaces for kids with disabilities. Paula Tutman is in Hazel Park to show us how communities can have a say in what's to come.
So these kinds of bouncy toys in parks, I mean, they're relics. They're kind of cool when you want to think about nostalgia. But let's talk about what it means to today and people who use parks today. So in this park, all of this is going to disappear, and it's going to make way for truly what is the future. Green Acres Park in Hazel Park, well used, well loved, past its prime and its time. By the end of the year, it will be one of 2 new destination parks in Oakland County to draw families together from neighboring communities. And it'll be increasing its playability multifold by becoming disability adaptive for children and their adults.
What we're going to bring to Hazel Park is an inclusive playground. It allows for people of all abilities to play on it, which is really what we try to strive for in Hazel Park at this point. Inclusiveness is at the core of our mission.
Hazel Park has been awarded a $400,000 grant from Oakland County by way of the American Rescue Plan. Royal Oak Township will receive $300,000 in grant monies for a focus called Healthy Communities.
What we're doing is we're focusing on communities that have historically been either marginalized or under-resourced.
So see this blue area? That becomes poured place rubber. Oppressively expensive and just not doable without grant money. It means wheelchairs and walkers can easily navigate the ground surface. The slides, they'll be wider, so a disabled child can play with the help of an adult behind them. There will be an adaptive swing. What happens to the dinosaur?
The infamous dinosaur that we see in parks all over, he is going to go, actually.
And here's where the folks who live in these communities come in. You get to choose the color scheme. For sensory facets, you get to vote on which 3 you think work better for your community. Chimes, vibes, the large cabasa or the small one. Or how about the conga drums? For that bounce element where the dino was, perhaps the spring rider grasshopper. or the Pokey Snail. Macro Park in Royal Oak Township, different configuration, still lots of fun.
We want to make sure that the residents see what they want in their playgrounds, in their parks, in their communities.
Okay, so here's how you do that. Here in Hazel Park, tomorrow, 6 to 8, go to City Hall because they're going to have an open house. You'll actually get an opportunity to see what those aspects are that you're able to vote on and how they actually work. And then also for Royal Oak Township, keep an eye on your township website because later in June, you have an opportunity to vote. Then they'll do the renovations, knock everything down, put everything up. Grand opening probably before the first snow flies at the end of the year.
I love it. I love the idea, obviously, of making things more accessible and the fact that residents can join in. And you know, we go to the parks even in the winter, right, Paula? Nothing stops us here in Michigan.
Nothing stops us. We're Michiganders.
That's right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so some people say you can't buy happiness, but if you could, how much money would you have to make each year? A new survey shows a big discrepancy in America. First, a new search in the infamous Gilgo Beach murder investigation. The police work is not done because a suspect has not been charged. And who's the bully or who's lying? We have an update on jury deliberations in the sex assault trial of Kevin Spacey. More news in less than 3 minutes.